And so, high school. What's up, guys? Got some interesting questions here. And this person writes, I'm currently in high school, and school in general has never been difficult, just time-consuming, and honestly, it's very boring, and all the electives are just so rudimentary, I haven't learned a thing. Okay. As you may know, I'm looking for a project car to learn a thing or two and test my resourcefulness some more. Sometimes it seems I'm just too good at being average at specialties. Now, I don't mean average as grades-wise. I've got consistent good grades. I've got a very logical mind, and I wouldn't say that school is below me. I would just say that it's slow for me. My main specialty, besides marksmanship, is resourcefulness, where I recently picked a lock for extra credit for the entire class, with 2 paperclips and 15 minutes on the clock. Granted, it was for a 4 or 5 pin fairly easy set cabinet lock. If I can't fix something the way it was, I make it better. For example, I've got an airsoft gun that the trigger mechanism broke, and I took it apart. Planned a method of fixing it and used a Dremel to grind some holes, lighter to mold scrap plastic to make a trigger, and that was more direct at the gearbox, and it works better than it ever did. I've also made a camouflage shield for airsoft with a cutout to rest a pistol. I am sort of making a physical portfolio of my projects and obstacles I've overcome. Yeah, that sounds good. I've got a cheap RC car that I'm using, breaking, fixing, and improving. I'm trying to find the right career, and I'd enjoy doing, and I may just have to make one for others like me. All right. And socially, I'm a good businessman / salesman, fairly outgoing, get it done sort of guy. Thank you, Isaac. Well, Isaac, your letter put a smile on my face because I can relate. So, let's drive this Viper and talk about it. All right, man, so, high school. I don't know who likes high school. Actually, I do know who likes high school. The kind of people that end up in middle management that's the plateau and crowning achievement of their career, generally speaking. Now, that might be a little mean, a little tongue-in-cheek, but what I'm saying is, man, don't let this get you down. You're not the only one, and I think I was probably just like you. So, I'm gonna tell you what I've learned. First of all, I think it's really cool the projects you're doing. Airsoft gun, obviously a precision mechanical instrument. It's something that takes a lot of engineering that goes into it. Obviously marksmanship and the responsible handling of even an airsoft gun is something that's admirable. So I hope whatever you do with it, you're using it responsible and being a good leader with regard to that. But in terms of engineering, wow, that is resourceful. You're getting into part design, product design, research and development. You're even getting into molding and, chemical makeup of polymers and such. So what you've just done with that already shows you have the ability and are well on your way to being a fantastic engineer. And obviously making those other things you're having fun with, such as the shield and all, are good fun, and showing your good craftsmanship. Those are things that cannot be taught, or at least aren't being taught in school. School teaches you the theoretical, but what you've got is a very valuable part of the puzzle that nobody can really tell you, except me, I think. But nobody can really tell you, or is going to tell you. But if we can get you through school reasonably to play that game with society, you know what I mean? Keep you level-headed, keep you moving forward well. If you keep going with all these resourceful things right now, you're going to be so much better off when you go to get hired. Because right now when I work with Genius Garage students, all the hiring places, I get called from Honda, McLaren, Tesla, all this. They need resourceful, real-world people that can design and think on the fly. That's you. But we got to get you through school. So, as a note too, the radio control car thing, doesn't matter if it's cheap or expensive. If you're running it, you're breaking it, you're fixing it, you're modifying it for the better, that is research and development. It's exactly what manufacturers do. So keep doing that, keep enjoying it, but make sure your mind is always going through it in a scientific method and you're using good process for what you're doing. Of course, don't let that take away the fun and enjoyment from it, of course, naturally. But I just say that because this is a great learning opportunity that I tell everybody. So I want to talk to you about school, man. Here's the thing. You're pretty smart. I'll give you that. If you're doing what you're doing, you're pretty darn smart. And honestly, you could, notice I say could, be a great engineer. But what's going to destroy that is if you get so fed up and cocky and thinking you're the best thing since sliced bread, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That you can't deal with school and you just become a mess, then I'm gonna tell you what's gonna happen. You're gonna end up out on your own, and the only chance you can do, the only route you have anymore is playing the game to be an entrepreneur. So the problem with that is you would have to absolutely have the resources to start a business, create a creation, invention, while living expenses, etc., and doing whatever it is that you want with your life and family, and you better darn well hope you can make it. So what I'm saying is, I appreciate the fire you have. I appreciate that you have some talent. But you gotta keep it in line, because right now, the United States and elsewhere, the best we have is the educational system. What happens to everybody across the board, and the reason the educational system is getting so much criticism and frustration from young people like yourself, is because everybody has been led to believe that the educational system is the end-all be-all to create the person and get a job and create the future and make it happen. And that's just not true. But in the United States, we've forgotten that. And we've forgotten how to cultivate young people, how to cultivate them in the real world as a person, as an individual, to be able to design with your hands and in your mind. What's happened in school is they've taken, it's like, look, we've gotten some new machines and we've gotten new computers and this is how people learn. Well, yeah, it's a tool, but it's gone too far. So what I'm saying is, just know that the educational system still does what it does and does it well. But it's up to you as an individual, and it's up to all of us as people to develop ourselves outside of school, where school can't. So don't get mad at school. Just realize school does what it does as well as it can. And then you've got to build yourself up. You've got to grow outside of that. If you want more out of life, if you want to go somewhere, then it's up to you. If what you have laid before you is school X or college possibility Y, then make the most out of it. Make the most out of it. Get the grades, but not only get the grades, absorb the information. Ask more, become a leader, help others. Help make the school better while you are there. These are all the things that are gonna help you in the world and to become a leader. And that's what's missing. So, I think this is the moment, man. This is the moment. I'm telling you. You've got what it takes, but you got to keep it together. You got to do well in school. And if the school, university that you're at or thinking of isn't the right one and isn't going to get you there, then find the one that is. Do the best you can. Make it a better place for having been there. Be a leader. Grow as much as you possibly can. Network. And when you get out, and I don't just mean like when it's over, I mean like when you're literally not in class, do everything you can to learn. Build a portfolio no matter what your resources are. If all you can afford is to buy and sell and do radio control cars, then do that. But do it as an engineer would. Because let me tell you, there are people hired to design these radio control cars, a job that you might have one day. So if you can be incredible with anything you do, it's just going to add to your school experience. So that's my best advice to you, man, that I don't think anybody else is going to tell anybody. It's up to you. Do the best with your resources, whether that's an opportunity at school, whether that's a $5 bill or a $5,000 bill, so to speak. Whatever it is, do the best with what you got, because the one thing you can't get back or make more of is time. Time. You are young. So fortunately, you've got that going. But the truth of the matter is, the path you take and the time that you allocate and invest right now matters. Matters for the future. Matters with the people that you spend time with. The relationships that you create. So make the most out of everything you've got. That's what I got, man. I think you can be a great engineer, and my suggestion for you outside of school and going that direction is a mechanical engineering degree. It's up to you to find a good, university or college that suits you well. Make the most out of it. Do the best you can right now with scholarships. And if you put together a great portfolio, website, whatever, document what you're doing right now with your inventions and such, that very well may help you get a scholarship. And I know that for a fact because I've seen young people be highly involved with radio control airplanes, and that helped them get into aerospace engineering. That's what I've got, man. I'm not going to tell you to be patient, because I'm not patient. But you got to let the garden grow. You got to tend it. You got to plant the seeds. You got to keep the weeds out. So remember, good relationships. Make the most of your time. Do the best you can with school. Make it better while you're there. Be a genuine leader that cares about community. And utilize all your great side projects to start making you a great inventor, car person, engineer, whatever. And you can be successful. But it's up to you. That's all I got, man. Anyway, I hope you enjoy driving around with me on this dreary day in this Dodge Viper. Fortunately, a fun car makes even a dreary day a little better. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope everybody subscribes for next time. I'll see you later.